Ladies and gentlemen, your sweet Zionist prince here to tackle another video from Naftali Bennett, the former Prime Minister of Israel. I'm Tal, the traveling cloud, your host on this adventure. Let's take a look.
But there are many people who believe that the sheer volume of civilians, women, children, being killed in such huge numbers, and if the Lebanon offensive continues the way that the Gaza one did, there'll be tens of thousands more potentially killed. That is simply unjustified. That Israel may have a right to defend itself. Everyone understands that you want to protect yourselves and your people from Hamas and Hezbollah and obviously Iran, whose tentacles, like you say, are right behind it all. But at what cost? And you know that a lot of global public opinion has been railing against Israel. It's become a lonelier and lonelier place for Israel in these battles that you're fighting. Are you not concerned that at the end of all this, you end up with two things: a very isolated country, reviled by a lot of the world, but secondly, you would have killed the ideology that when you kill tens of thousands of civilians in Gaza and maybe potentially again in Lebanon, you're fueling the ideology behind the groups like Hamas and Hezbollah, which were forged out of what they perceive to be Israel's oppression and occupation.
I dispute that assumption, Piers. Israel has not been aggressive towards Gaza nor Lebanon. In fact, we have no territorial claim neither in Lebanon nor in Gaza. Our strategy, Israel's strategy for many years, was to allow them to prosper, yet they decided they want to turn their countries into terror bases against Israel. So there's no basis for saying that, you know, when we let go of them, they lay down their arms. Quite the contrary. The only way to do away with this ideology is to destroy these terror groups. It's like the Nazis. You could not barge in December of 1944 and persuade the Nazis to let go of their ideology. The only way for them to do away with that ideology is to win. Once you beat the Nazis, once you remove that regime, they could engage in the next stage. And I think that's a possibility in Lebanon and Gaza. And one last point, there's an airplane right above me right now. If we give in to this modus operandi that says that when they hide their rockets and their terrorists amid their children, that turns them into immune, that means that every terrorist in the world, in London, Paris, New York, will use the very same strategy. That would be the biggest mistake. We have to fight terrorists even though they use that cynical strategy. Otherwise, they'll continue to use that strategy, and you'll get it all around the world. And again, Israel is doing the hard work, the thankless work on behalf of the world. We continue getting criticized, but we're doing the work for everyone else. So it's so easy to sit on the woke benches and say, you know, this is not okay. I would only suggest one thing. Give us an alternative. Tell us, what would you do if you got 200 ballistic missiles over the weekend on your homes in Miami or New York or Los Angeles? What would you do if 1,400 Americans or Brits were raped, burnt in their houses, and kidnapped by these terror groups?
What would you do? That's really the age-old question. And we ask it all the time as Israelis, as we get criticized, as we get shit around the world for being who we are, for trying to survive, as we get criticized around the world, up and down, nonstop, for just trying to survive, for literally just trying to protect our people, and for trying to fight against terrorism. And we don't get any alternative. It's not like the UN has come up with an alternative, right? It's not like all these countries. Naftali Bennett says it perfectly in that video. It's not like anybody's coming up with an alternative to the situation. The alternative is Israel just doesn't defend itself. Israel is allowed to just take it up the butt all the time by Islamic terrorists. And we're just supposed to say, Salamu alaikum, habibi, it's all good, kulu tamam. Come rape my family, come steal my house, burn me alive, shoot me in the face. You know what? We Jews don't fuck around like that no more. It's not going to work like that. We don't play that game no more. We Jews are loud and proud. We're not afraid anymore. So you know what? We're going to do what we got to do unapologetically. And if you got a problem with it, come see me, Abu Baklawa, and I'll explain to you why we need to do it. Because Arabs and Muslims are murdering each other in the millions every single year in every place that they live. So I'd like to point you in their direction. First, you can come to me at the bottom of the list. Capiche? Okay, thank you so much. Love you guys a long time. Thanks for watching my videos and supporting my channel. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, class. If you believe in my content and want to support me, just know your help is needed. There's a bunch of great ways to support me, being PayPal, Buy Me a Coffee, or joining my Patreon community down below. Patreon is the best way to support my channel, and you'll get a bunch of cool perks depending on what tier you join. Another great way to support me is by buying my merchandise on thetravelingclat.com. I regularly drop new merch designs like this beautiful hat, or this amazing shirt, where you can support the channel and get something cool for yourself. I also have an amazing Discord community with people from all over the world. Thank you so much for your support.